Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad to be on here today. I am excited because I have the extraordinary opportunity to interview a wonderful woman, a woman that she just lights up the world. And I just thank God for her. I thank God for him putting her on the earth to do the work that she is doing. I know that you all know Dr. Jacqueline King, the founder of the Black Women Empowered and Black Men Empowered Network. But it's so amazing because usually she's on here to do interviews for everyone else. But today we are focusing completely on Dr. King. Welcome, Dr. King.
Hey, hello everybody. When you come in, tell us where you're coming in from. You know the drill. Just let us know where you're tuning in from. And thank you so much, Keisha, for doing this.
Oh, it is definitely my pleasure. Well, a lot of people do not really know. They just know of you. They know that you are the founder of the network, but I want to give them just a little bit of background about you. I'm not going to go through your entire bio, but I just want the people to just know a little bit about you because Dr. King, she has spent the last 26 years, almost 3 decades, in various management positions. She has so much experience. She served on so many different boards. She spent her life serving on many, many boards. Dr. King has also received numerous awards and certificates of appreciation, including the YMCA, the New Jersey Minority Achievers Award for community service and professionalism. So that is such a blessing. But the one thing that you do know, Dr. King, for is being the founder of the Black Women Empowered Incorporated, Black Men Empowered, and also Black Women Empowered Safe Haven. One thing I want you to know is that BWE, it is an online ministry network that empowers millions of people on a daily basis with different posts, different encouragement, live broadcasts, health, wellness, education. The network is there to just pour into the people of God. And so also the Black Women Empowered Safe Haven, it is a nonprofit organization that supports the homeless and also struggling veterans. BWE has provided support to struggling mothers. They have sponsored several different food drives and coat drives and financially supported disabled veterans. I mean, the list goes on and on, where they support food pantries and shelters. And she has recently launched what we call the Christian Women Level Up. And that's a movement that helps women move to the next level spiritually, personally, financially, and professionally. So come on, everybody, let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Jacqueline King. So tell us a little bit about Christian Women Level Up, Dr. King.
It's on fire. God gave me the vision to help Christian women get unstuck because a lot of times you get complacent. You're afraid to step out of your comfort zone. God's giving you a vision and you don't have the courage to move forth with the vision. You think I'm not good enough. I don't have the resources. Nobody's going to support me. So
Yeah.
that's why I started Christian Women Level Up, and I Want More in 2024. So we are providing you with people who can help you get to the next level, including Keisha. She has her own publishing company. So we have that available to you. We have a ghostwriter. We have a book editor. My gosh, grant writer. Nonprofit startup, new business startup, wealth management. It goes on and on. So I believe that 2024 is going to be a powerful year for those who will embrace the opportunity. And we have coming soon our new business directory, and that's going to be a complete game changer for
So
us.
tell me a little bit about that business directory, how it will actually help women go to the next level in their businesses.
Right. So once you join the business directory, there are several levels. Depending on which one you get going, you can share your business, you can share your blog, your videos, you can connect it to your podcast, And so you're in fact getting in front of all of our millions of followers, and you have the opportunity to connect with one another. You'll be able to put your zip code in and see who's in your area. You might want to get together for brunch. You might want to do something, women get together. So it's a great opportunity for the women to come together. And they've been asking, how can they come together? It's not always we're going to do a conference, but when you have this at your fingertip, you can just go
Yeah.
in, and then you can see which women have connected on our business network directory, and you can connect with them on your own. But more importantly, you are exposing yourself to a lot of opportunity to
Mm.
be to share your business, your blog. Even if you're not a business owner and you have a blog, you're a blogger. Some people like to blog and they don't own a business. You can share that. There's so much opportunity coming, and that should be up in the next 2 weeks. Dr. Cheryl Peavy, she's one of our new team members. God bless you. Welcome, my
Mhm.
cousin Alexandra Agerson. You know, share the broadcast, share, share, share. But yeah, so I'm excited about it. It's to me, it's a total game changer.
Wow, it seems like a very tremendous opportunity, not even for women that even have a business, like you said, even if you just want to connect with other women and just see what other people are offering, it really gives people that opportunity to connect and collaborate. So that's really phenomenal that you have put that together. How long do you think before that will be available for the for your viewers?
It's in the next couple of weeks. I'm being told that it will be available.
Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Well, I am really excited because this has just really been a long time coming. You have written a book. These are some poems that you have uh, been gathering for many, many years. And so I'm excited. If you guys do not have this book, make sure that you go on Amazon and order it because this book is really blessing people. It's called Creative Words Flowing. And so that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to talk a little bit about this book, Creative Words Flowing. Now, I want to know, Dr. King, what part of your life just really inspired you to write about this, these collection of poems?
It's a lot. I mean, having gone into corporate America in the 70s, I saw a lot racism, discrimination, and the relationship. So it really is a lot. I have just put my own experiences on paper. And I started writing
Mhm.
back in the 80s, long, long time ago. Some of you probably weren't even born. But yeah, so I started writing, putting stuff down, and I just kept a collection of it, never published it, just kept the collection. And till recently I decided,
Over how many years?
since 1980, and we're what?
Wow.
It's a long,
Wow.
yeah, my
That's a
first,
that's a good amount of time.
it is. My first poem was Victory in the Praise. I know you remember that one. And a friend of
Yeah.
mine was having a praise service, and she says, I want you to come and speak at my service. And I was like, no, 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 no. And so she said, well, God told me it was you. And I was like, oh, who am I to argue with God, And so
Yeah.
I actually wrote that poem for for that for that special service that she had, Victory and the Praise. And that was the
Oh,
first one.
that's amazing. Wow. So let me ask you, how do you feel that your own experiences as a Black woman has really influenced your writing?
Well, I mean, the title Creative Words Flowing, I thought was so appropriate because the words, God gives me the words and I write them down, but mostly I believe that they have an impact on people's lives because every woman probably has been in a relationship that wasn't so great. Um, and the poem, He Was Never Meant for You, we've been in relationships where we know we weren't supposed to be with that person. That person was not supposed to be our final destination. Uh, so I really just took my own
Yeah.
experience and put them down, but I think that it will help a lot of women get out of certain situations. I have one on domestic violence in there. Thank God I've never experienced domestic violence, but that's something that we support heavily. Black Women Empowered.
Yeah. And it's a lot of women that are experiencing it. Um, but you guys can really keep in mind that, you know, Dr. King just really just took a lot of the things that she has personally experienced and things that she's seen and just really wrote about. And what I want you to know is that everybody has a story. So you got to be encouraged to just, she took the time to say, I'm going to write my story. I'm going to write about the things that has affected me and the things that I've seen has affected other people. So that's really, really amazing.
And let me just say, I had a woman, actually, she's over our cruise. She's a Caucasian woman, and she downloaded the book in Kindle. And she said to me, she said, I absolutely love the book. I didn't expect her to say that, but she said, I did. She said, because it really enlightened me about things that I had no idea, that, Black people had to go through.
So it really does educate other cultures as to Black experiences, things that we face, things that we go through that they have no clue that we battle with and deal with. And you really hit on some of those topics, which was so enlightening. Can you tell me, like, or tell the audience any like specific message that you explored in the book, just something specific that you can think about that made you say, I've got to deal with this?
Well, I tell everyone, one of I think my best pieces was "Oh to Be Black," and it really sums it up because the Black experience is not like any other, in my opinion. Having to deal with discrimination. I mean, when you think of Dr. Gay, the woman that just had to step down from Harvard, and yes, the fact is that they found some plagiarism, and that's what they used, but she's not the only one that's done that, and for her to come out and say how degrading they did and made her feel so bad, that's something that Black women go through on a regular basis. We don't just get a slap on the hand, we get dragged through the mud and abused and embarrassed and all of that, where we don't get the same grace and mercy as other women. So those are some of the things I touch on in my poetry. Is that that's why Black Women Empowered is so necessary, because if we don't come together as women, support one another, no one's going to support us. This is of a lifetime. It's a legacy. This will be going on long after I'm gone. Black Women Empowered, because we are empowered, but we're stronger together. Rather, we cannot continue to let competition and jealousy stop us from supporting our sisters, because look, we're all trying to get to the same place, trying to level up.
Oh, I agree. That's good. That's good. What are some of the specific solutions that you were looking to provide when you wrote this book? What are some of the specific things you said that this has to fix this, or some of the specific solutions that you were looking to provide when you wrote your poems?
I just want everybody to be aware that this is going on, and together we can make a difference. Someone wrote the other day, do we think that voting plays a big impact on what happened to Dr. Gay? And here's what I said. I said, because they're changing the rules in voting, they're redistricting where there's a minority, minority rules, which it wasn't that way. And so that makes the Black vote go out the window. There's so much. You need to be up on all these things that are going on in your community. And so awareness is what is necessary. Voting, yes, by all means, I say vote, but they're moving
Yeah.
the bar. The bar is being moved constantly. I mean, look at the insurrection. Come on now. In the
Yeah.
history of this country, no one has ever tried to stop an election from going forward. And that's probably just the beginning. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't
It
know.
is.
So yeah, we have to be aware and we have to take these things very seriously. We have to take these very seriously, voting and knowing what's going on in your community, knowing who's on your city council. You can't afford to sit out and just say,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't care." Your school district, who's on your school board. All this is going to affect you. It's going to affect your kids. It matters.
Hmm. Wow. And so, let me ask you this. To people that may not have experienced, the African American or the Black perspective, how do you feel that the poems that you have wrote will resonate with other cultures?
It's going to tick some people off. I don't really care. it, it is what it is. You know me. I'm transparent. I don't sugarcoat it.
Yes.
This is facts. What I put in there are facts. So you can either embrace it or you can ignore it. You don't have to. Nobody's forcing you to buy the book. It would be nice because proceeds go to our nonprofit. That's another thing.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not really looking to make a bunch of money off of this, but I'm looking to build up our nonprofit so we can help more people. These are different
Yeah.
ways that we can give back. Get the book, get it on Kindle, get it on paperback. The paperback, by the way, let me just say that Keisha is the one who did this, the one you're seeing. Is this not the prettiest book? I mean, she did this thing. I have to brag on her for a minute. You have to go to
Oh,
Amazon and get it. Creative Words Flowing. I think it really will have a impact on those who embrace and try to realize what I'm saying, what the meaning behind each. None of it is meant in a negative manner, but it's meant to bring awareness. And a lot of people don't know, but I've been an activist all my life. My mother used to call
my
me Angela
God.
Davis. If any of you know Angela Davis with the afro and the pig.
Mhm. Yeah. Wow. But I love what you said, though. Even the young lady that you said that was doing some work for you, and when she downloaded the book, how it resonated with her. So, it just made me think about that. If it resonated with her, and if it educated her, and if it showed her our perspective and what we experience, then she's not the only one. So it really is, spreading a message of what people need to know about what we deal with. Yeah.
Awareness. And then there's
Aware.
some warm fuzzy. I wrote one for my son when he got married. It was called a poem for a son on his wedding day or something like mother's poem. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. So some of it is really touching from the heart. I wrote one for my mother who has since passed away for Mother's Day. But I think you'll find it that is very interesting. I got a great review from Dr. Garnett, and he is a writer. He is a ghostwriter. So he wrote. It should be on Amazon very soon. An amazing review. And if you do get the book, make sure you go and leave a review. Um, but go ahead and get the book because like I said, I'm not saying it because of me, but I'm saying you'll be giving back to our nonprofit as well.
Yeah. People love a cause, and this has an amazing cause because it's not just about the author, it's about the people that she's impacting. So you definitely make sure you go on Amazon and order that, tell your friends about it, post it on your Facebook page or your LinkedIn page. Let's spread the word about it. So I know that when you were writing, like any of us, we all face challenges. We all come up against things, deal with things that are trying to stop us or slow us down when we're trying to move forward and go to the next level. And I know that over the course of those 30 years that you were, trying to write this book or put these poems together, what are some of the challenges that you faced while you were writing this book that you had to overcome?
Well, I think the main challenge is that God deals with me sometimes, and I'm sure that you know this as a pastor. She hates me to call her pastor, but she is. God will wake me up in the middle of the night with a poem, with a poem, and if I don't get up and
Hmm.
capture it, it's gone. In the morning time, I can't remember. This could
Yeah.
be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. The poem for Cassie Bernal, a lot of people don't know. It's called "She Said Yes." Cassie Bernal is a young white lady who died in the Columbine murders, school shootings years ago.
Hmm.
And I remember reading her story. Her story was that she had just given her life to Christ 2 weeks before the gunman came in, and he looked around and said, "Who in here believes in God?" And she said yes, and that's the name of the poem. She said yes, and he killed her.
Mm.
He killed her. So
God.
yeah, it's my experiences are based on a lot of different things. Racial profiling, that's something that used to go on in New Jersey when I was there. They were pulling black people over for no reason, just because they were black. I'm sure that they're not the only ones. It was on the New Jersey Turnpike. It was a big deal. It's outdated now, but it's still in there because it really did happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff, and that just triggered, um, unapologetically black. You know, I'm going to be black 365 days of the year. It's not going to change. And I don't make any apologies for it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Someone said they just purchased the book. Thank you so much. Please
Oh,
go
that's
purchase.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
that.
that. Yeah, they did. I appreciate that. But yeah, Linda Gray, I don't know if that's her, but Linda says every black person needs this book. Um, I think so too. I do. I think it will really
So,
shed some light on, and even give you some comfort in some of the situations that you could be experiencing as well.
yeah. There was this one poem that it really encouraged me when I read it. And I want to read it for you guys. And it's called Break the Silence. This was really one of my favorites because this poem has a lot to do with domestic violence. And a lot of women are really, really facing this stuff. And they don't feel a safe place to be able to tell anybody because for one they are afraid of for their lives, so they just kind of keep it hidden, they keep it quiet. And then when I read this, I'm like, man, she really hit home on some things. I want to read this for you. It says she came home from work tired from a long day. She sat down to rest for a few minutes and prayed. The door opened. It was him. He came in yelling, what's for dinner? Why aren't the kids fed? Why didn't you make up the bed? She looked at him with tears in her eyes. All she could do was cry because she knew what was coming next. She picked up her phone to send a text. He took it and he threw it against the wall and punched her until she began to fall. He started to curse, swear, and pull on her by her hair. Then, all of a sudden, he pulled out a gun and pointed it at her head. And with just one shot, she was dead. She says in here that this story is fiction, but it could be true. Break the silence before it happens to you. And so many women are silent and they won't let people know. And when I read that, I'm like, women need to know. You got to know somebody if you are dealing with that. So I just encourage you, let some trusted person know what is going on if you are facing, some type of domestic violence or some type of physical, emotional abuse. I mean, hey, we got people that are real narcissists out here.
Mm.
And come on now. And people doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Not even, they feel like, they can still abuse you even though they're not putting their hands on you, but they're emotionally pulling you apart bit by bit. And so those are the kinds of things that you still need to tell somebody about, because if something were to take place, you need to be able to have a voice and let somebody know. So I just encourage you, like I said, when I read that poem, it really encouraged me. So I hope that those women that are, tuned in, that hear that today, if it's not you, if it's somebody that encourage them to talk to somebody, because we have to break that silence. So many women are losing their lives because they won't talk to anybody. And it's really their word against the accuser.
Yeah,
So,
and so the other thing is that, so that's why we at BWE take domestic violence so serious. Um, the money, the proceeds, like I said, are going to our safe haven. Go to bwesafehaven.org and you'll see some of the stuff that we've been able to do. But domestic violence, we want to be able to open up houses, and
mm,
and 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 also provide toiletries, because one of the things about domestic violence victims, a lot of times they have to get out and they with nothing. Time is of the essence. They don't have
yep.
time to do a pack a bag, so they leave with no clothes, no toiletries or anything. That's something that we support, and we need money
Hmm.
to support that. We cannot do that without your help. So even if you're not going to give a donation, which I hope that you will, you can do that at
Hmm.
bwesafehaven.org, or you can purchase the book. Um, it's up to you. But I think that
Yeah.
that you really have to take this serious, because so many of us are dying. Black women
Yes.
are dying at the hands of narcissist men, and black men
Yes.
are, and there are some narcissist women too.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
it's not just a man thing, but domestic violence affects everybody. If your kids
It
are
does.
seeing, there's a good chance that they're going to be abusers, because I got a bot on here. Um, it's a good chance that they're going to be abusive, because that's what they know.
Hmm. Wow.
Please share the
Wow.
broadcast. Let us know you're going to share the broadcast, please.
Now, Dr. King, going back to you were mentioning about the proceeds for the book and going to the BWE Safe Haven. What if someone wanted to give some physical donations? They did not have cash, or they wanted to do something on a bigger scale where they wanted to donate toiletries, personal care items, feminine products, or things of that nature. What would they need to do in order to do that with you?
Well, right now we don't have a facility, but some of our people in Georgia, I know you've seen Pastor Karen Jones. She takes donations. Connect with her. She takes donations. She goes out to a tent community and gives out
Okay.
donations. We do not have a physical place to send donations other than Pastor Jones and some of our ministers in Georgia. But Deidre Deschelle, says she wants to connect. So go to the website, which is blackwomenempowered.org, and you can go ahead and click on I Want More in 2024, because that's where you're going to be able to know when our business directory launches. And that's, like I said, that's going to be a game changer. And also, you see the book going across the screen, Creative Words Flowing. It's on
Yes.
Amazon. Go ahead and purchase that. But I mean, we've been around for 12 years. We have over 3 million followers on Facebook alone. So we're trying to bring this community together. where you can actually work with each other, connect with each other, even maybe go out to dinner,
Yeah.
have a relationship in your community where you do things.
Mhm.
That's what the directory is going to do. And it's going to showcase your business, your talents, your gifts.
Awesome. Awesome. I do have a question. As you were writing your book over the years, has there been any other poets or writers? It can even be past or present that have made a significant influence on your writing.
Well, everyone knows I love Maya Angelou. And one of the poems in the book I dedicated to her. I wrote that one day after she passed away, a poem for Maya. And that's one of my prized possessions. So Maya has always had an impact on me. But Rudyard Kipling, a lot of people don't know him, but he did the poem If. I started reciting that. That's a long poem. When I was 12 years old by heart. Is very, but it's if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, that resonates because people are going to talk about you. They're going to criticize you. If you haven't read that poem, I suggest that you go ahead and get and look that up. It's called If by Rudyard Kipling. But those are my two favorite, all-time favorites. I was just a big advocate for Maya. Maya was just like the best of the best, in my opinion.
Wow. Well, that is really amazing because we all have people that have inspired us in some way, shape, form, or fashion with whatever it is that we're putting our hands to. So I'm gonna definitely have to look up that poem and read it because I'm inspired now. I want to hear that. One thing I'd like to know is, have you ever, as you are writing, as an author, as a woman that writes poetry, have you ever noticed like any common misconceptions or even stereotypes when it comes to African American poetry?
Well, I mean, they call it what do they call it now? They do the stand up poetry jam and all that. So I mean, I think
Mhm.
it's changed over the years, and sometimes it can be a little rough. I think that my poetry is where it can stare you right in your face and make you think, and not everybody's going to be comfortable reading it, and that's okay, because that was my intention, for you not to it was
Mhm.
intended to make you think about life and the things that we go through and the things that we as women go through, and even our relationship with God. I mean, I have some poems in there about your relationship with God. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure that everybody is not embracing uh, Black literature. I mean, Amanda, oh God, I can't remember her name. The one that did the poem, I just can't remember her last name right now. That did the poem for President Obama's inauguration.
Yeah.
That's a deep sister. She's really
Yeah.
deep, and I absolutely Amanda Gordon. I couldn't think of her name. She is awesome, and but her poem it'll stir you up. I mean, she doesn't
Yeah.
sugarcoat it either, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. I think that there are certain things that we are really allowed to say. And I think that people are more accepting when things come in the form of poetry. Do you agree with that? Like, I really do believe that it's kind of like a song. People accept music and they accept the artist for whatever it is that they write. And I think that when people write poetry, it's accepted a little bit different than someone that's just writing a story, because poetry, it paints a picture of a feeling, of an emotion, and it really takes you there. So I just think that it's embraced in a different light.
And it is, like I said, the young people have gotten so creative. I love to hear them I guess I don't even know what it's called, rapping poetry. I love to hear them do that. You know, when they do the stand up and everybody gets up, and uh, it has evolved over the years. And
Yeah.
actually, I'm gonna tell you what the truth is. Michael Eric Dyson, who was one of my favorite all time people, he always recited stuff from Tupac. And you can say what you want to say about Tupac,
Mhm.
but Tupac was way before his time. The stuff that he said,
He was.
ever listened to it,
Yep.
it was like it was way before his
Yep.
time. It was like it was here before. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of poets out there, and he was one. I'm not all for the ones where spoken word. Thank you, Howard. Couldn't think of what it was. I'm 66 years old, so look, sometimes it doesn't come to me right away. But yeah, the spoken
Well,
word
you
is,
could have fooled me. You don't look no 66 nothing.
well, I am, praise God. But yeah, the spoken word is amazing. I love it. I love what the kids are doing with that. But yeah,
Oh,
so I think that we have the opportunity to mindset shift. It's a mindset.
mm-hmm.
We did a live on that. Shift the way people
Yeah.
think about us, shift the way people look at us, because a lot of people have never experienced anything with Black people, only what they
Yeah.
see on TV. And
Yeah.
so through our poetry, we are painting a picture.
Hmm. I completely agree with that. Um, Dr. King, what's a specific, I would say, feeling or a message that you're hoping that your readers will take away from your book?
Well, I mean, I had one review that a woman said she was really feeling down the day that she got the book. And it was like the words were jumping off the page and they were just for her. Um, and so
Mm,
what I want you to really feel it. I want you to
yeah.
embrace it and to, make it. I'm sorry, I got bots everywhere. And make it your own. You know what I'm saying? So there's an opportunity here for you to understand what you're going through, why you're going through it, and how to get through
Hmm.
it.
Yeah. Wow. So I want to ask, what's next? What's next for Dr. King? What are you currently working on?
Well, with my Christian Women Level Up book, movement, I'm actually working on a 31 day of inspiration on your level up journey. That's my next book. You're going to be publishing it. You already know. Uh,
Yes.
but it's encouragement, because it's not easy. It's not easy to. It's not what's easy to level up. Um,
Yeah.
you just you get so. Well, Johnny said he brought a first partner. There's poems in there not just for women as well. So you can
Yeah.
you can read it too. But yeah. So sometimes you just need a push. You need to read, uh, like we've done talks on anxiety, procrastination,
Hmm.
investing in yourselves. These are the topics that I will be covering in my book, even though I've gone live with it. Sometimes you just need to be reminded that
Yeah.
your journey, there are steps that you have to take to level up. It's not just going to happen overnight.
I agree. And, one thing that we have to keep in mind, leveling up is not about just going to the next level. Leveling up is all about having the ability to go to the next level after you've been pushed down, after you
Mm,
face an opposition, after you face adversity, after you've been hit in the face, after things have not gone your way. That is, leveling up is about what are you going to do after you get wrongfully fired? What are you going to do when
Mm.
people are talking about you, putting their mouth on you? What are you going to do when you didn't get the promotion? What are you going to do when you thought a relationship was going to work and it didn't? So that's really what leveling up is all about. Going to the next level, even after you get pushed down. That's what leveling up is all about. So, that's what, as I've been seeing the movement of what you've been doing, I said, that's what women got to do. We got to level up. It's not just going to the next level, it's about you going to the next level after you've been pushed down.
Pushed down, kicked,
Come on.
abused, um, discriminated against all odds.
Yes.
Johnny, you're gonna have to get my book because
Yeah.
I can't. Says what are the steps? I can't give you the level up. When I get my book, then you'll have to get it because they'll all be in my book. But there are things that you can do. You're gonna need that encouragement because every
Yeah.
day every day might not bring a challenge, but there's going to be challenges on your journey.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, gosh, if I had stopped with Black Women Empowered in the beginning with all the negativity, negative people, naysayers, there would be no Black Women
Yeah.
Empowered. It wouldn't be
Come
here
on. That's
because I had so
all of
many
us.
people that didn't believe, yes, absolutely didn't believe in me,
Yeah.
laughed at me. But I know what God said. And I didn't hear
Yes.
voices.
See,
I don't.
that's the key right there. What you just said is even though you got opposition, even though people didn't believe in you and they didn't think that you could succeed at establishing, this network, what you said was key. You believed what God said. And that's what we have to do. We have to stand on, we got to be fully persuaded and stand on whatever it is that God has told us to do and keep standing, regardless of what anybody has said to us or about us. And that's why, how many years has it been? 12, 13 years
Yeah, we're in
for
our 12th
BWE?
year. We're in our 12th year. We're in our 12th year.
Wow.
We got a lot of spammers on here
So of
today.
course she has
Go ahead.
So of course she has faced opposition. She's faced different, people not believing in her, but she made God's voice louder than any other voice. And that's the key. You got to make God's voice louder than any other voice in your head. As we, kind of bring our interview to a close, I just, want to know, one of my last questions is, what really gave you that courage to finally say, okay, after 30 years, what gave you the courage to say, it's finally time for me to put my book in print?
You. You.
Right. Wow. I was not expecting that.
I know you weren't, but it was you.
Wow.
You pushed me.
Mm. Mm.
And that's what we have to
It's
do
important.
as queens,
Yeah.
to encourage and push one another. When you see your sister
Yeah.
is down and needs a little support, uh, sometimes she just needs you to hear her. She doesn't need any
Mm.
advice. She just wants somebody to hear what she's going through. It's not always
Yeah.
about coming up with a solution. Sometimes it's just about listening. By the way, on Wednesday,
Mm.
I'll be doing a live on the benefits of active listening because a lot of us
Mm.
can't do that. That's Chanel and I and Bishop Whitaker will be coming on talking about listening, and that'll also be in my book. Because you know sometimes you somebody's telling you what they're going through, and you just thinking, trying to come up with a solution. And the solution is not what they need right now.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
need a shoulder to cry on, a sister
Yeah.
to hug them, to say, I care, I love you, I got you no matter what. That's who we have to be
Yeah.
for one another. That's what Black Women Empowered has been encouraging and empowering for
Mm.
12 years on social media. And we're taking it to the next level.
Wow.
We got the cruise
That's
coming up. If you guys haven't seen it, we got the cruise in 2025 to Belize, Cozumel, Honduras, 8-day cruise. You better go to my page on LinkedIn. February 15th is the last day to get your $100 deposit in. But we're going to have us a good time. And I want to see you there. We got the cruise. We're working on a conference. We got the directory. This is our year to level up, triple level up.
I love it. I love it. Wow. Well, I just want to encourage those of you that are watching. I want to encourage you, do what Dr. King did. Take the initiative, write down your story, write down your poems, whatever it is that God has placed on the inside of you. I want you to begin to put it, get ready to prepare to put it in print, because long after you leave the earth, your poetry, your story, your book will remain here. And that's how you leave a legacy. And so Dr. King's book will be here for years and years to come. And they will be impacting people years and years to come, because she had the courage to say, I want to go ahead and get this done. So I want you to be encouraged today. If you wrote a book, if you have a question about writing a book and have never, talked to a book publisher, send me an email. I would love to talk to you and, answer any questions that you have about publishing your book, or even reprinting a book that you previously had, because it's all about us leaving a legacy, sharing our story, and making an impact on this great earth. Well, make sure that you share this broadcast, post it to your page. Other people can really be encouraged by this broadcast today. There were major nuggets that went forth in here today. So I want you to share the broadcast, like the page, and make sure that you let other people know what you got, and put your biggest takeaway from today's broadcast. Put that in the comments section. We want you to put your takeaway. What is that one thing that you got out of today's broadcast? Because your nugget will become somebody else's nugget. So we just encourage you, continue to live by faith, continue to trust God, continue to do what it is that you've been called to do, and keep making an impact in the earth. God bless you all.
And don't forget to go over to, it's going across the screen, go to
Yes.
blackwomenempowered.org and click on I Want More in 2024, because
And don't forget to buy the book.
don't forget to buy the book. This is what it looks like. Don't forget.
Yes.
We need everybody that's on here to go and get that book. Um, yeah. So we have all these experts that are going to be helping you, and including Keisha. She's our official publisher. We have somebody that's going to be talking about wealth management and investing. I can't even remember all the things. Linda Gray is going to be doing nonprofit grant writing. Dr. Garnett is going to be doing ghost writing and book editing and grant writing. So that's why we're helping you. That's how we're helping you go to the next level with our resources. And our directory, like I said, is going to be a game changer. So as soon as we release it, it's going to be everywhere. You'll see it. Keisha and I probably come back and we'll be showing it and everything, but it's your time. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
If God said it, I believe it, and you should too.
Yes. Amen. This has been such a pleasure taking this time to spend with you, Dr. King. So, ladies, you got to say, I want more in 2024.
I want more in 2024, and go over to blackwomenempowered.org and click on the I want more in 2024. You can actually, we've got you can see our blogs. Actually, when you go to the page, you can get right to our Facebook page from there. You can get to the Instagram page from there. We got blogs, we got videos. Uh, you can chat with the other women. I mean, this is so much on the website, but our directory will be connected in the next 2 weeks. And yes, well, go over to the website. You got to go to the website and click I want more in 2024. That way we'll be able to keep in contact with you. God bless you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, John. Johnny is
Yes.
man. He comes on a lot. So we thank you, Johnny, for always supporting us. Ursuline, I don't think she's here anymore, but everyone that came on today, thank you so much. Please share the broadcast. And as always, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it.
God bless you all.
God bless.